What's good, my brothers? I have not seen you guys in so freaking long, and I'm very sorry about it. I'll promise I'll make you guys a video about this topic. I just don't know when. But anyway, the 2010s have came and gone, and a lot has happened in these past 10 years, especially for me. I've grown a lot. I started kindergarten over 10 years ago, and look at me now, I'm a sophomore. And anime was definitely one of those things that I was exposed to, and now I'm a part of. So to celebrate, I thought that I'd take a recommendation from Oscar Henderson Walshy to make the top 6 anime of the 2010s. And before I get into the list, I just have to give some honorable mentions in SSS Gridman, Sword Art Online, A Silent Voice, and Data Live. Now let's get on to the list. Of course, I have to go with Hana Yamada. I really like the characters in this show, especially Hana, to the point where I even have a figure of Hana, and I thought that finale was just so great of Hana leaving and then coming back, even though she comes back a little bit late. I thought it was very worthy. The music was incredible, the animation was incredible, and overall it was just a fun time. Only 12 episodes, but 12 fun episodes. Number 5 is Kotori-san. Almost 2 years since I last watched it, about the 3rd or 4th anime I ever saw, and still to this day I think is worth an absolute watch. The soundtrack is at its very best, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. The characters are absolutely incredible. The 2 main protagonists, there's like 5 main protagonists, and its execution really touches me a lot. And overall, even though I was a little too addicted to the show back then, I have grown since then, learned from my mistakes. Number 4, I chose High School DxD. Even though the recent episodes of this weren't really the best, they were still enjoyable, but the 3 seasons were just top notch, and I heard that this show is supposed to be coming back pretty soon, so I am going to be looking forward to that. The aftermath of season 4, that's going to be very interesting, especially seeing how would the show end, because its beginning seemed pretty obvious and it was great at the same time. All the characters feel equal, almost all of them at least. Number 3, I have to go to Takagi-san, one of the only few middle school anime out there and one of the best. And it's more reality based on like most anime. Closest toucher, the characters have more realistic appearance to what actual humans look like in Japan, instead of just the colors of the rainbow with their hair. It's just more typical and closer to reality, and that's one thing about the show that I think stands out. And what makes the show unique is that it is more based on reality, and despite that, it still has a great execution to it with the 2 main characters. I'm not really the biggest fan of the 3 side characters, but they're still good in my opinion. For my number 2 choice, I have to go to 7 Deadly Sins. Around the first anime I ever saw when I was first starting to really get into anime in 2018, and it blew my mind. The first few minutes, I didn't know what to feel, but as only it continued and I was patient, it only got better from there. Meliodas, Elizabeth, everyone pretty much is so incredibly executed and written. The animation is gorgeous, and the soundtrack is at its absolute best. And overall, I have a really good time with this one. Always curious on what's to happen next. Now, my number 1 choice may be a shocker to a lot of you, but it is Owl in the Sea. A very forgettable and underrated show in my opinion, but to me, it's the absolute best. The scenery, the art style, the animation, and especially the soundtrack is if some of the best, if not the best piece of anime that I've ever seen. The characters are good, and the story, I'm not exactly sure on the story. I haven't seen the show in quite some time, but other than that, it's perfect and flawless, no complaints. Maybe it's just me, but it really does not get any better than this. Of course, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys will put on this list. What did I miss? I know I missed a ton, but I just had to pick the ones I thought were the most important. And anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Fat Terry Crews if he never did a jump jack. I'm trying to save you, put the donut down. Cup of coffee every vid, been adding up the pounds. Releasey upload and the people gather round. Them raps make a vid, don't know